It's hard to say how old the village is. Might have been here at the edge of the woods for hundreds of years. This is the only building in the village with a light on. Seems to be some kind of general store. Someone still seems to be living here, though. That bedsheet hasn't been hanging there for long. Someone still seems... Fired bricks for building houses. Presumably there's a source of clay close by. The house of a craftsman, it would appear. Wooden boards, bricks, and over there a bit of thatch and a few roof tiles. The craftsman must have left the house years ago. He'd be a busy man in the village these days. There hasn't been a fire in that furnace for years. And considering how crooked it is, I should take care that it doesn't fall in on top of me. The church looks as if no one has been there in years. A ghost church. Not like a church for ghosts. A church for humans. Nothing to do with the spiritual world at all. You know. Graveyards are pretty scary even under normal circumstances. But this one, it's extra spooky. Just like all the buildings in the village. Deserted, spooky, and also somehow a little bit sad. I wonder why people in the far-flung villages can never put the gravestones and crosses in straight. Can't they use a square or a level or, just their eyes? Hello? Anyone home?
Go away! You're not having my head!
I don't want your head, I just want a bit of information.
Begone, headless horseman! You won't fool me!
Hey, there's a headless horseman out here!
Oh, yeah, as if you didn't know that. He's hunting me. He wants my head so he can put it on his own shoulders.
Are you sure he wants your head? Or just anyone's head? I mean, what do you think he'd do if he saw a gnome with a fine big head?
Just go away, you fiend!
My name is Wilbur Weathervane. I'm a gnome, live in Seastone. I just want to ask you a few questions.
Oh, yeah, of course. A gnome from Seastone walks into the dark woods on his own and just wants to ask a few questions. Oh, yeah.
I am not alone. I'm with a living skeleton, a zombie, a robot, and a talking rat. There's really no reason to be worried.
Enough! Begone, demon!
Can we talk inside? Then we wouldn't have to shout.
Oh, now I get it. You're the devil. You can't enter my shop without me inviting you. No, there you go.
I'm not the devil. Promise.
Yeah, the devil's second best trick is making you believe he's not the devil.
That's ridiculous. I'm going to open the door now. Hello?
Die, monster!
Hey, you could have hit me.
Don't move!
Aren't you supposed to say, don't move, first and then shoot?
Oh. No psychokinetic energy. You're not magic.
Thank you for reminding me.
Who are you? What do you want here?
As I said, my name is Weathervane, Wilbur Weathervane. I'm searching for information about a certain Van Buren. He must have lived here quite a while ago.
Sorcerer! Evil character. Oh, you shouldn't get involved with people like that.
He's not still alive, is he?
No, he's been dead for more than 30 years. I remember how the grown-ups marched up to the castle with pitchforks and torches. Really traditional like. Well, in retrospect, if they hadn't killed him, we might not have been cursed.
Excuse me, your name is?
Whale. Tim Whale.
And you own the shop?
Oh, yes, sir, yes. And I'm the mayor of this beautiful village. And the priest, the fireman, the landlord, the coachman and the smith. I also teach netball. Yes, I do.
Ooh, sounds like you're a busy man.
Has its perks. We usually reach a swift consensus in council meetings. Hey, maybe you'd like to move to Somberville. I can offer you the post of bailiff.
I'm not staying here for any longer than necessary.
It's the nameless terror lurking in the woods, right? I can't blame you, no.
Van Buren cursed you?
The whole village. Everyone knew he was doing unholy experiments in his castle. But in principle, we got on all right with each other. I mean, we'd never have stormed his castle if the paladins and the mages hadn't spurred us on. They said it was our duty to help them against evil.
They must have been the same as those who were fighting the cult of the Nameless One.
Whoever they were, they disappeared once the sorcerer was dead and left us to deal with the curse on our own.
The curse makes people disappear.
Not exactly. This has always been a special place, you know? I mean, for example, it's always night here and the moon is always full. The woods and the mountains confuse the senses, things like that. You could say the people in this region are used to quite a lot. But after the sorcerer was killed, oh, it was different.
The Headless Horseman?
Oh, not just him. Others too. Repulsive creatures. They come from the woods and hunt us. One after the other was snatched and dragged into the woods. I'm the only one left.
It's always night here in the village. That's just crazy.
And why is that crazy? In other places, it's always summer. Summer up north, there's an island where it always rains. Here, it's always night. Oh, some people come to the region especially, just like how others move to warmer climes. I mean, for example, a gentleman moved into the castle some years ago. A count, in fact. He doesn't seem to have a problem with it always being night and a full moon.
The castle up on the mountain over there. That's where the sorcerer lived.
Yeah, that's where he lived. And that's where he died.
Then that's where I have to go.
Good luck. You'll never find the way through the mountains.
Fancy showing me?
You mean leave my shop? While the Headless Horseman is out there waiting for me? Oh, never. I'm the very last one who still lives in this village. Oh, some fled, but most... Oh, when I die, the village dies. Yeah, and what would my forefathers say about that, eh?
As mayor, I'm sure you've a plan how to stop the Headless Horseman, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. I've sent a bounty hunter after him, yeah.
That could prove difficult to achieve, for several reasons.
Oh, maybe you want to try your luck.
No, I'm not a bounty hunter, and also I don't have the time. I've got to find a book so I can destroy a magic wand.
Oh, well, if that's more important than saving Somberville from extinction, then go ahead.
Thanks for your help. We'll be leaving for the castle early tomorrow.
There is, of course, a problem.
What? Knowing when tomorrow is?
No, I'm talking more about the hidden ravines, razor-sharp rocks, wobbly cliff ledges and secret paths. Easy. You can't reach the castle if you don't know the way.
Ah, I know how this works. I have to reach the castle on a matter of utmost urgency, and you're the only one that can help. And you just happen to have a problem with the Headless Horseman. But you know what? Not this time. because if I let myself be distracted from my actual task, something bad will happen to one of my friends. I have a clear goal, and I grew up in the mountains. I'll find the way without any help. Good day. Good night. Now that I'm not a mage anymore, perhaps I should try to become a powerful warrior. I think I'd look quite good in some armor like that. I don't think the shop is doing well. Sure, a motley selection of armor, weaponry, food, and magic potions always tends to work. But if the shop is stuck out in the middle of nowhere and no one is sending heroes to the area, then who is going to buy all this stuff? The shelves seem to be some kind of catch-all for things even the most optimistic shop owner couldn't hope to sell quickly. If I had more time, I'd love to rummage. I love this kind of stuff. I don't think the shop is doing well. Sure, but if the shop... A crossbow is a devastatingly effective weapon. At least it is, if you manage to hit something.
Hey, I just sell the weapons. I don't know how to use them.
Statistically, if you have a crossbow in the house, you're more likely to shoot yourself than a burglar.
Well, statistics are made by people who don't live in a cursed village.
A crossbow is a devastatingly effective weapon. At least it is, if you manage to hit something.
Hey, I just sell...
I've never seen so many locks, chains, and magic spells on a single door. And the crossbow bolts indicate that a very, very nervous person lives here. I'm sure that Mr. Mayor won't object to me borrowing one of these bolts. Hey, let's face it, he does seem to be firing them all over the place. The shelves seem to be some kind of catch-all for things even the most optimistic shop owner couldn't hope to sell quickly. If I had more time, I'd love to rummage. I love this kind of stuff. What's this here? Metal underwear?
That's a heavy warrior set, level 90.
Hey, what?
It's the same as the one next to it, but this one's for female warriors.
This one here, and that. And you want to tell me that these suits of armour are on a par with each other?
Yep. Heavy plate armour offers ideal protection from all kinds of weapons.
But it's covered in holes, completely see-through. One sword thrust through the torso and...
I've been selling armour for 20 years, and my father before me, and my grandfather before him. Are you trying to tell me you know more about heavy plate armour than I do?
No, of course not. That is really the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. The armour covers so little, let's be honest, just the bare necessities. Doesn't look comfortable, and a warrioress would freeze if she ever wore it to the Northlands. Sure, but if the... Impressive armour. Only the shoulders appear a little impractical.
The shoulders give you armour plus 22 and agility plus 9.
Why would ridiculous shoulder plates improve agility? Wouldn't they actually restrict movement?
Well, that would be unfair. Warriors already have very low agility to start with. Lower than rogues, for example.
Ah, but can't warriors also be rogues too? I mean, if a warrior, for instance, fights unfairly or cheats at dice.
A warrior who's also a rogue? Well, how's that supposed to work? How would I know if I'm allowed to sell him the plate armour or not? Rogues are only allowed to wear leather armour. And perhaps a coat of mail. Just like hunters. Yeah.
Ah, right, I get it. To prevent the armour from squeaking and frightening away animals. I'm sure it's just sales nonsense when they say this armour will make you into a more skillful or better fighter. What matters is who is in the armour. That must be from something like a wild boar sheep cow. Maybe Mr. Whale would be a bit less scared if he didn't surround himself with such creepy things. I guess the barrel is full of some kind of acid or holy water, or something else that the mayor thinks will protect him from intruders. That over there, that's a magic circle on the ground, isn't it?
Do you know anything about dispelling ghosts?
A bit. Doesn't the ghost have to be in the magic circle, rather than the person who is trying to cast the spell on the ghost?
If you can trap ghosts in a thing like this, then surely you can lock them out too. The circle is my last line of defence in case the salt in front of the windows and doors doesn't stand firm.
The beings from the woods, are they ghosts then?
Oh, well, there are all kinds of things living there. Why not ghosts too? Better safe than sorry.
I'm not sure this would really keep a ghost at bay.
Oh, so you're a ghost expert then, eh? Have you spent your entire life in a cursed village? The only one left after everyone else has long gone, have you? Even old Reverend Sidow, who apparently knew everything about evil. Have you?
Sorry? You can see that he's been living in fear for a long time. Poor guy. However, if he doesn't want to help me, I'm not going to try and convince him. I'm sure we'll find a way through the mountains, with or without him. I wonder why he just doesn't move away. What's keeping him here? I mean, even if the Headless Horseman doesn't get him, sooner or later he's going to die, and then the village is doomed, one way or another. I'm not sure what I should ask him just now. The fire gives out warmth and light. The people here in the dark woods must pay a fortune for wood. Statistically, if you have a... Whoa! Does the weather always change so fast here?
The Headless Horseman! He's coming!
That's what you thought when I stood outside the door.
Look here! Psychokinetic energy is almost off the scale!
I'm a qualified mage, but what exactly is that?
Skipped a few classes, did you? The PKE shows whether ghosts, demons, evil powers are nearby. It is the Headless Horseman, I guarantee it.
Then I must go to my friends immediately.
Stop! Didn't you hear what I said? There's a Headless Horseman out there.
And my friends.
Stop! Stop! Don't move, or I'll shoot.
How? There's no bolt in the crossbow. It's not loaded. Hello?
It's him.
Who's there? Nate! Put that thing away. What happened? Where are the others? I don't understand. There was a knight with a sword. Okay, there was a knight and anything else? There was a disfigured squire, an Igor, maybe? Monster? There was a knight and a monster? A dragon? Or a lion?
A werewolf?
A knight and a werewolf? What do they do? What happened to the others? Oh, I get it. Gulliver has lost his head. Phew,
One of your friends was beheaded and you're relieved?
Well, better Gulliver than one of the others, don't you think?
What?
What's up with Timmy? There were dwarves in barrels swirling around on the river. Sounds like nonsense to me. A rampaging yak? What's that got to do with the story? Esther, your mother, she panicked and ran away? Where to? Did she have Timmy with her? Towards the woods? Esther ran into the woods.
What? Then she's lost?
No, she's not. Come on, Nate, we're going to go see Gulliver. Then we'll find Timmy and your mother.
You can't go out there!
We'll let you know if we meet any headless horsemen. Ah!
Don't move!
Did someone call for a bounty hunter?
And just as our little friend was about to go out there, you came in.
All right. I'll go into the woods and polish off any headless horsemen, robber knights, and werewolves that cross my path.
There's a little rat and a zombie too.
No problem. If we can agree on a price, I'll take care of them too.
No! They're our friends. Do not kill the zombie and the rat.
That's fine too. I'll just keep an eye out for them, free of charge.
How are you going to do that? What's your plan?
Seek and destroy.
I only see two problems there then. First, the seeking, and second, the destroying.
He's right. The woods confuse the senses. They are devious and evil. The source of the evil is in the heart of the wood. There's a clearing there with an old tree in the middle. Under the tree is a cave. That's where they live. All of those who have brought so much suffering to our village.
Not for much longer.
I should come with you. Our chances of success are better with two of us out there.
The last time I worked in a tin, I got a wooden plank to the head.
Then you had the wrong partners. I had great partners. Ivo, Captain...
I work alone. Have the goal ready. It won't take long.
Oh, very self-confident, like all the others.
The others?
Do you think he's the first one to try to solve the mystery of the evil in the woods? Oh, I've stopped counting. Some may have found it, but none of them returned.
Come on, Nate. We shouldn't rely on the bounty hunter to find our friends. Back to camp. Be careful.
Take it easy, buddy. I'm here. Be good and sit down by the fire. By the fire, not in the fire.
What happened? Nate said something about a knight and a werewolf.
It was terrible. I'd nodded off and suddenly I heard my cream bun scream. I jumped up, ready to protect her. Then there was a flash of lightning which illuminated the gleaming figure of a knight, a paladin to be precise.
And then?
My honey blossom was out of her mind with fear. She ran into the woods, away from the paladin. I was going to run after her, but when the lightning struck again, there was a werewolf standing there. Nate screamed, Esther screamed. I tripped and lost my head. I called to Nate to run and get help from the village. The werewolf came towards me and I was certain I was done for. My body tried to defend me, but he had orientation problems. But then the lightning struck again, very close by. The wolf was startled and ran after the others into the woods.
fine. I mean, nothing must be allowed to happen to them.
They went into the woods unhurt, but those creatures were hot on their heels.
I couldn't take it if Timmy... They're fine. We just need to get them back first. The mayor talked about the heart of the wood. He's pretty certain that's the source of the evil.
But why do you think Esther and Timmy have ended up there of all places?
I don't know. Just a feeling. People have been disappearing here for centuries. I think they were lured into the woods or, like Esther, driven. If we want to get them both back, we'll have to uncover the secret of the wood. The Sorcerer Van Buren spent his last years in that castle. Pretty sure the book we're looking for will be somewhere there.
I'm not interested in the book. I want my sweetie pie back.
If we defeat the evil in the woods, we'll get Esther back and the mayor will show us a safe way through the mountains.
Well then, let's go.
Right, I'm going to go and look for the two of them. You hold the fort here.
I'm not staying here. I'm going to help.
That's exactly what you are doing by letting Nate repair you and being my advisor. And maybe you two could make things to help me along the way. You're both much more skilled than I am.
But my wife is out there.
And your son is here. Do you want to leave him here alone? Or take him out into the evil woods?
But... all right. Bring back my cherry blossom and just say the word and I'll be at your side.
I know. I'd better start by searching for clues and information. I need to know what I'm dealing with. We walked all the way from Seastone, a good deal of the way off the paved roads and paths. We feared that Councillor Van Buren might be watching them. It was an arduous journey, but we were well supplied. Food, water, warm blankets. Esther organised everything. Esther looked after Timmy with such kindness. Ever since Remy's death, he has been quite changed. He was always so adventurous before. After we left Seastone, he spent most of the time tucked away in Esther's coat pocket. Even the slightest sound made him jump. And now, monsters and werewolves, oh, poor fellow. The wool blanket is old and has been darned several times. I'm sure it came from the rubbish heap under Seastone. Still, it'll keep you warm and won't go all kaflooey. The little fellow is hanging on in there. I'm sure he's trying to work out a way to help me. If you could look into that head of his, I'm sure you'd see little cogs whirring around like crazy. Nate has tried time and time again to cheer Timmy up the last few days. He even managed it occasionally, but Timmy always crept back into Esther's coat pocket. The little fellow is hanging on in there. I'm sure he's trying to work out a way to help me. If you could look into that head of his, I'm sure you'd see... I think Nate has been putting a few more logs on the fire since the attack, and it still doesn't radiate a real sense of security. I think Nate has been putting a few... And a bit of fur. Could belong to the werewolf. He ran towards the woods and got a bit too close to these thorns. We found everything just the way it is. A few stones laid out in a circle on a sandy area, no trees close by. A perfectly built campfire pit. Then again, what does it say about a village when travellers would rather stay outside the village than rent a room there? What's that in the sand there? Looks like a thick-walled stone goblet, just like dwarves use. Those things would be too heavy for me to travel any long distances with, but the dwarves say that the stone goblets are fashioned to remind them of home. I'm afraid the dwarf who carried this goblet out here into the wilderness can't complain about my taking it anymore. This goblet was filled with sand. Maybe I can use it for something sometime. This would be a perfect place to grill a sausage. Not as hot as an open fire, but still hot enough. Esther said there'd be a few sausages waiting for me when I returned from the village. Then, everything turned out differently. This would be a perfect place to grill. I could make an imprint of the bolt in the sand, but I'm carrying the sand in my pocket. The imprint will instantly fall to bits. Every dwarf makes a travel goblet out of stone from their home mountain and then decorates it with their coat of arms. It's part and parcel of coming of age. A dwarf can only go travelling and sleep under the stars once they've got their own stone goblet. It's easy to see that Gulliver would like nothing better than to run into the woods after Esther. The only thing stopping him is that he can't leave Nate by himself. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I'd have another name on the rescue list. Every time I talk to him, I see that dreadful combination of hope and despair in his eyes. I won't do that any more than absolutely necessary. Footprints. I'm no expert, but I'd say that these are Esther's footprints. They lead towards the woods, which would tally with what Gulliver said. Traces of both the werewolf and of Esther, but none of the paladin. The sorcerer Van Buren spent his last years in the castle. He didn't trust his brother, and he wrote down a means of destroying his brother's powerful wand. As soon as we've rescued Timmy and Esther, we'll find a way to reach the castle, with or without the mayor's help. The sorcerer Van Buren spent his last... He didn't trust his brother, and he wrote down a means of... As soon as we've rescued Timmy and Esther, we'll find a way to reach the castle. Shop has been nailed up. I'm sure that a few little wooden planks like that wouldn't stop a headless horseman or a werewolf. Shop has been nailed up. I'm sure... It seems the mayor isn't just the mayor. Fireman, priest, coachman and blacksmith. Looks like he's also forced into being his own washerwoman. Hopefully the mayor won't have any objection, as long as it helps me banish the evil from the woods. You can always use some string, as I'm sure I've mentioned on more than one occasion. It wouldn't be theft. I really need the string for, stuff. The washing line does, however, seem to be knotted to a hook on the house, which is much too high up for me. The moment I saw the spooky woods, I just knew I'd end up going in there sooner or later. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure Timmy and Esther will be even more afraid. Whew. So far, so good. The mayor said that the woods confuse the senses. I have to memorize the way back to the village. And I should try to stay quiet. There's a werewolf, a knight, and perhaps even a headless horseman running around out here. An axe! The wooden handle is all weathered and the iron head covered with a fine coat of rust. Must have been wedged in this tree a long time. Months, perhaps even years. The blade is still shiny, it looks reasonably sharp. The tree has kept it from rusting. If you can't undo a knot, then you can at least cut it. That's it! That's Timmy's scarf! It's torn! There's something in the undergrowth here, something big. I can't see what it is. It could be Esther. But it could just as easily be a werewolf or some other monster of the woods. I can't just stand in front of a bush and push the branches apart. What if there's a werewolf in there ready to attack? Right then, I'll get ready for battle and...
Hello? Anyone there? Oh, hello, little man.
May I ask what you're doing here? You don't exactly look like a mushroom picker.
Phew, glad to hear it. I'm on my way to my fiancé's. He lives here in the dark woods in a magnificent castle. At least that's what he wrote. The thunderstorm took me by surprise, and then suddenly this wrinkly old woman was standing there in the middle of the path. She pointed a bony finger at me and gave me a toothless grin. I was distracted, and my horse threw me and vanished into the woods with all my things.
That sounds terrible.
It is. I'm meeting my fiancé, and I don't have a thing to wear.
The old woman on the path. Sounds like she could have been a witch.
Yeah, right. She was so old and shriveled and ugly. I've never been so scared in all my life.
Another enemy to deal with.
Enemy? Are you wood pixies battling these creatures?
Ahem, excuse me, I'm a gnome, not a pixie, and I come from the mountains.
I would be very grateful never to see that face again. Hey, if you're a wood pixie and just pixieing around, then could you find the clothes I lost? I'll pay you.
We'll see. I'm Wilbur. Have you by any chance seen a female zombie, a rat, a knight, a werewolf, or a headless horseman anywhere in the woods?
Oh, Lord. No, definitely not. Or more like, happily not.
Do you know the way to the castle? Could you maybe take me with you?
I don't know the way. Laddie wrote me saying I should find a guide in the village. The way through the mountains is very dangerous.
Vladdy, your fiancé?
The Count.
So, what's he like?
Oh, he's a darling. Very rich and very old. I can't wait to meet him in person.
So, you're engaged to him, but you've never met him?
Why hesitate and risk someone else snapping him away from me?
It's too dangerous here in the woods. Come on, I'll take you to the village.
Uh-huh. Which way?
This way. Or, wait a minute. No. This way. Or, bloody hell, just follow me.
As I already said to your young friend, I won't set foot outside as long as the headless horseman is running around out here.
Then just send word to the castle asking Vladdy to pick me up from here.
Oh, I wouldn't know how. I'm afraid you'll have to wait until the bounty hunter comes back with good news. Be my guest. Make yourself at home. Oh, thank you for bringing her here. I mean, really, thank you. Nudge, nudge, right? Oh.
You're welcome. Hello?
Oh, yes?
Looks like I'm going to be helping you after all.
How do you mean?
The curse? The woods? It looks like we have a common enemy.
Right, right. Give it a go. I mean, I have more confidence in the bounty hunter, but I've reached the point where I'll grasp at any old straw.
Thanks. How motivating. This is a traditional adventurers and heroes shop, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was founded by my grandfather. He used to be very busy round here. Oh, there were giant spiders in the woods. There was an old goblin mine a day trip to the south. In the heyday of hero tourism, we were even thinking of building a sewer system. We sell armour, weapons, elixirs, provisions, ice arrows, antidotes, anything you need. And you can pay with spider legs, goblin ears, and things like that.
And what do you do with those?
It's a trade secret. If you want to sell something, you can do it risk-free. I'll look after the object in case you want to buy it back later.
You what?
Oh, yeah. In case you change your mind later. Then you can buy back the same object for the same price. It's called the market economy.
This evil heart of the wood, what exactly is it? And where can I find it?
It's a clearing in the centre of the woods. There's an old dead tree standing in the middle of it. You'll recognise it when you see it.
But how am I going to find the clearing? The woods are pretty big.
And confusing. The heart of the wood doesn't want to be found. Yes, whatever it is that's sending these creatures after us, it lives in that clearing. Oh, I'm quite sure of that.
Do you think that it might be the ghost of the Sorcerer of Van Buren?
Perhaps. The elders did warn us. They said you should never mess with the sorcerer. They were scared and whispered of dreadful dangers. Oh, if only we'd listened to them. Oh, yeah.
Couldn't your device help me find the heart of the wood? Doesn't it detect ghosts and stuff?
Ah, I see. You're saying that nothing around here radiates more psychokinetic energy than the heart of the wood. You might be right. You should get yourself a PKE.
I was hoping you could give me yours.
My detector? Never! It's my PKE. It's never let me down.
But if you give it to me, I could find the heart of the wood and lift the curse.
Or you might be killed and lose it in the woods. It takes weeks to deliver such a masterpiece of occult technology.
That's exactly why I can't hang around here waiting for another device. I need yours.
Forget it. The PKE reliably shows when anything supernatural is creeping about. And I have to know that.
I need something I can use to defend myself against a werewolf. Do you have anything like that?
Oh, we've never been attacked by a werewolf before, so we haven't got any special anti-werewolf weapons or the like. But as far as I know, any normal weapon made out of silver should do the job. What's your skill? Sword and shield? Twin daggers? Gun lance?
You mean you can fight with two daggers at the same time without mutilating yourself?
Oh, so you're a long-distance fighter. Oh. Bow, crossbow or slingshot? As amusing as it would be to use a slingshot against a werewolf, I'd pass on that. Bow or crossbow would be better. I've got a lovely composite bow +2 in stock, but it requires dexterity 15.
I think I might be able to handle something like that crossbow.
Yes, a light crossbow is easy to use and packs a real kick. Oh, any old fool can hit something with that.
A light crossbow like that, how much does it cost?
3 gold, 7 silver and 2 copper coins. Or I'll give you a quest.
Ooh, what's the quest?
Bring me 10 wolf skins.
You just made that up on the spot, didn't you?
No, it's very important.
Sounds like a pretty generic task without any real purpose to me.
You bring me 10 wolf skins and get a crossbow as a reward. What's the problem? I haven't got any silver bolts, though.
So you want me to bring you 10 wolf skins for a crossbow which will allow me to defend myself against a werewolf?
Right, yes. And while you're getting the skins, you'll gain some valuable experience that'll make you into a better hero.
But it's going to take forever to find 10 wolves. And I really don't want to strip the fur off them either. They need it.
10 skins for a crossbow, that's the quest. And if you like, I can quickly think of a backstory for it.
Not interested. My friends up there by the campfire, could I maybe bring them here? It could be safer for them.
Of course. Not only for them. The monsters from the woods might snatch one of them instead of me.
Right. Oh, okay. I'll let Gulliver know then.
Gulliver? Isn't that the one who was beheaded?
Not beheaded. He just lost his head. Zombies don't mind that kind of thing.
I'm not having zombies in the house.
Why not? He's lovely.
I don't want anything to do with their kind. Alive or dead, they should make up their minds. We want decent folk here in the village, not ones cobbled together out of parts of decent folk.
See you again sometime.
I hope so. Really do.
Mr. Whale will sell me a crossbow for 10 wolfskins.
No. I won't sell it to you. I offered it to you as a reward for a quest.
And the quest is to get you 10 wolfskins.
That's right.
Hello.
Well, looky here if it isn't my knight in shining armor and accomplished guide.
It didn't take us that long to get out of the woods.
You should try it in high heels.
Oh, don't take it personally. The mayor didn't want to take me up to the castle either.
Yeah, but you're you, and I'm, well, just look.
Why would he want to take you up to the castle more than me? I asked him very politely.
We're wasting our time. All that guy thinks about is the headless horseman, and that he could be the last villager to be kidnapped or something like that. Some of us here have real problems to deal with.
You don't have any silver, do you? Then I could use it to make a silver crossbow bolt to protect myself against the werewolf.
Of what interest is a werewolf in the woods to me? I want to go to the castle. That's in the other direction.
Yes, but once a werewolf is out of the way, I can take care of the headless horseman. And once he's out of the way, the mayor will take us to the castle.
That's a bit complicated. I'd rather stage a clothing malfunction and convince the idiot to do anything for me that way. But that's risky. I wrote Gladdy that I was a virtuous virgin.
Do you have any silver or not?
Of course I do. I have my silver jewelry. But I'm not wasting it on your shenanigans.
I think there might be a way to let the Count know that you're here.
Oh, really?
All I need is a little silver.
For what?
I'm going to send him light signals. Morse code, you know? If I had a really, really good mirror, then the moonlight would be enough for that. And as everyone knows, nothing reflects moonlight better than silver.
Of course. You're always hearing people say the silver moon and stuff like that.
That's right. I would melt the silver and vapor deposit it onto a piece of glass.
Smart boy. So how much silver do you need?
About the same amount as a silver crossbow bolt.
Well, if everything goes to plan, then I'll soon have coffers full of the stuff. Let me know when you're ready. It's important.
As luck would have it, I just saw some armor for female fighters.
Yeah, I saw that too. Do you think Flatty would like it?
No idea. It wouldn't stop a hail of arrows, I'll tell you that.
Hail of arrows? That thing isn't intended for battle.
You got that right. One broad axe to the leg and it'd be game over.
A lady don't go near arrows or axes. She has others fight for her. And this kind of armor would help it along a ways.
But what if a young lady really does want to fight? Doesn't she deserve a proper set of armor?
Looking good and knowing what you want. It's the only way to get ahead in life.
That wolf skin you have there, could you give it to me?
What? Get your own.
But I need it. No, actually, I need 10.
But what about me? I'm supposed to freeze just 'cause you need a fur?
That wolf skin you have there, could you give it to me?
What?
But I need...
But
If you're cold, I'd be happy to give you this nice warm wool blanket.
thank you, but this fur is just fine.
Yes, but... Don't you think that fur looks a little, strange?
What do you mean?
Well, it's just... Oh, I don't know. It's not that chic.
But furs is so fluffy and warm, and I really don't care what those crazy animal protection people say.
Oh, it's not that. It's fashion. In Seastone, the ladies there use wool blankets. Lovely.
Are you kidding? Oh, I just remembered. Vladdy in one of his letters once described wolves as his children of the night.
Well, in that case, you really don't want to be caught with a wolf skin, do you? And it just so happens I have a really beautiful wool blanket on offer today.
Much better.
Nah, I better let her stew.